Good evening, this is Ren, and I'm here to give you part 2 of my demon story. Actually, it's not going to be about demons today because it just happened to be that it was the actual same night that these 3 events happened. So this is event number 2 of that particular evening. Like last week I was telling you about how I cast out, through, of course, God cast them out and just used me, a demon out of my friend's sister, and I kind of abridged it quite a bit, but it took a little bit more effort and energy to get the demon out of the cat than I had actually said in the story. It's just, that was not important to mention. Today is part 2 of what happened in that evening, and so I successfully helped my friend's sister. And I got, I inevitably helped that cat too. He didn't get killed with the demon in him. So what happened the next was God had me sit on the couch. And I remember sitting up against the couch and I'm leaning over like this and the couch, and I'm talking to him. Can't see him. Of course you can't see him. But I felt this warmth, and I could, if you can, understand that you can actually feel a color, you can feel heat, you can feel light. Well, I felt the light, and he asked me, actually it was Jesus, he asked me to, if I wanted to go with him. And I go, where? He said, to heaven. So I went up to heaven. And what happened now down below on earth was my body was laying there like sitting like this. And my friend was saying what happened was I turned into like a statue. She could see me, my lips were moving and I was talking, but I was just like a statue. Just like a statue all of a sudden. Because I left and I went to heaven. And I experienced a really neat, I experienced something really awesome. And heaven looks very much like earth. I was very surprised. What you see here is what is up in heaven, except it's clean and the weather's perfect. I moved very quickly from desert to snow to mountains, you name it, and there was no change in, like the weather was perfect. And I didn't feel any pain because the pain is in the body that was down back on earth in a statue form. And I remember the streets of gold. Not this, it's kind of a subtle gold. I really didn't pay much attention to it, but all I knew it was clean and shiny. And I was up there, it seemed like 2 seconds. I remember I didn't want to go back. He says, well, now it's time to go back. And I remember trying to convince God that it's fine. I could just stay here. I'm happy. And he says, well, you got 4 little kids still. And I go, it's okay. Les will take care of them. He's fine. My husband can take care of them. And I remember my friend heard me say it. My statue body was saying that. And she says, you crazy? How can you leave the kids? And I go, oh, it's okay. It's wonderful. It's good. And she goes, well, like, what about your husband, Les? And I go, well, he can get remarried. That's fine. It's all good. It's good. I just want to stay here. That's how wonderful it is there. You have total peace, and everything sounds so much nicer and friendly. It's just like the whole atmosphere is like the wind sounds like singing. It was always singing there, and joyful singing, and peace, and not these nasty, sharp sounds. And it's one of the experiences I had. And when I came down and went back into my body, right away my back started hurting, and my eyes were not perfect anymore, and it was, oh, I'm back here again. Whoopee. Isn't that just exciting? He's never given me that wonderful experience again, I guess, because my reaction was a little bit too negative. I was very, very depressed for about 2 weeks because when I was with the Lord, He was right there. I mean, right there, right in my presence, right beside me. I could hear Him like I hear people constantly. Like God does talk to me that way, but it's still quieter than that day, that evening when He just gave me a glimpse of what heaven is like. And a lot of times people say, well, it's because you had a near-death experience. No, I was far from near death. I was, no, He just decided, okay, yeah, you want to go? Come on up. And I really cherish that memory. I'm looking forward to the day when I get to stay up there for a permanent basis. It's quite a ways away from now because my time frame is 120 years on this planet, so I've got a few more years to go. Anyways, that's the second event of that evening. That was a very busy evening, by the way. It was exciting, scary, and refreshing evening all in one. So next week I'll give you part 3, the third session, the third event that occurred on that night. Until then, I'll hopefully hear from you. So, click subscribe, give me a comment, let me know what you think, and share an experience that you actually had and you never kind of felt, oh, I don't want to tell anybody because this is way, way nuts. Hey, it happens. People do go to heaven. People do get to experience crazy and amazing things. So, like I said, click subscribe and we'll talk to you next week. And until then, be well and be blessed. Till then, bye.